I had this moment in New York where I realized like I'm becoming an angel. I didn't know I could be my own hero. Hey guys, it's Stella, and today I am going to be telling you how I became a anti-Victoria's Secret model. Because this is really important to me and it's something I've been keeping under wraps since February. It is now September 20th of 2019, so it's been a really long time that I've kept this under wraps about what I'm doing, and now that everything's out, I can finally just share freely my experience and the importance of why I did what I did. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure to check out my Instagram here and you will see the step I took in my life to just accept myself for everything that I am and want to be. But if you already know everything that's gone on, today is mostly just a thank you letter to myself and to you guys about this new transition in my life. And so let's get into it now. Basically, I turned myself into a Victoria's Secret angel, and I did this for a reason. So let me just take you back. In February 2019, I went to New York Fashion Week in New York, and I met these two sisters named Alice and Lexi, and they had told me about their fashion show called Dreamwalk Fashion Show, and they had invited me back in February to be a part of their 2019 fashion show. So I was like, yes. Ever since February, I was like, I knew it was coming, and then I got my official invite in my email and I was very, very excited. I decided that this was my moment. So even though I do model, I do not do runway modeling. I've never done runway modeling. So for me, I had a lot of time to kind of prepare for it, not only in what I was going to wear, but also in discovering a new part of modeling. So a lot of these things I had to teach myself, which I was very aware of when I accepted like the invitation. I got a little nervous though, because I, again, haven't done runway, and you have to learn how to walk. You have to, there are just so many like intricate details that you wouldn't even think about because you just see beautiful models walking down the runway. The first thing that came for me naturally was my walk, because we get to design our own costumes for the show, because this is an amazing show that just expresses individuality in people, and anyone can walk a runway. And that's kind of why these sisters started the show, because they personally were watching the Victoria's Secret show, but they were too short. Even though they're beautiful and they're the right weight maybe for Victoria's Secret, they were still too short, and they knew they would never be able to be actual Victoria's Secret angels. So they created this show and got branded internationally as the anti-Victoria's Secret show. Well, me knowing that, I, in my head, have always thought I'm this like angelic person. And I was like, okay, well, if y'all are branded as an anti-Victoria's Secret show, I'm definitely gonna be an angel. This is my opportunity to just kind of like be Stella in a way. But before we even get to that bomb costume designed by Charmaine at the BU Beautiful, or at the BYB, we are going to be talking about just like everything leading up to it. So the walk came first. I have some friends that are models, runway models, and I was able to get some training from a veteran model, from a current model, just on my walk. And what I realized a lot about my walk was, in case you're interested in runway, is take your time on stage, because you are able to soak up all the moments. Don't feel like you need to rush yourself. And secondly, your face matters, because that camera is going to be clicking every single second. You don't want to be caught off guard. I kind of have the walk down because I kind of just strut my life with that kind of walk. So I wasn't tripping too hard about it. I didn't want to take this as a joke. This was very serious to me. It was something that I was excited to do, and I feel like I do represent a lot of bigger people that are not the average hourglass shape, even as a plus size person. So for me, this, like, I held this with a lot of responsibility. I'm like, this is like your time to represent for the people. Like, this is, it was an accumulation of all the things I've ever wanted to do in one night. So I was taking it very, very seriously. So it comes summertime, and it's time to start designing my costume and brainstorming ideas. And me and Charmaine started designing. Well, at first I was like, hey, can you help me? Because I didn't know if I was gonna hire another designer. One of my friends I walked with hired this awesome designer. I didn't know if I was gonna hire him. I didn't know what was gonna happen. Flaws Couture put me on to people who make Caravana costumes, because that's what I thought I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to go very Caravana, and that's not what I ended up doing. But at first I thought that's what I wanted to do. But eventually what ended up happening is Charmaine and I got this sketchbook, and we ended up just sketching out a sketch. And I was like, Charmaine, like, this is it. This is representative of me. This is exactly what I want to wear. This is exactly what I want to do on the runway. It was very body positive. It was very Stella. It was wow, it was big, and I was like, this is what I wanted to do. We decided to make it ourselves. I will say Charmaine made all of it, except for like 1.2% of it. She made 98.8% of it. I'm very grateful for her. Thank you so much, because you made my vision come to reality and your vision come to reality in a way that was so much better than our original sketch, right? I had on this costume, my color was gold, so I did a gold swimsuit from Fashion Nova Curve. We added mesh, we added these rhinestones, these beautiful trims, these appliques, and then feathers came into place. I went to a feather store here in LA, and this was after thinking I want a headdress and Caravana, and the headdress didn't work out and it was not full enough and all these things, right? So I ended up getting these feathers, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love feather wings. And they're like, hey, you know, we supply feathers for the Victoria's Secret fashion show. And I was like, how do I make that? So the lady kind of just told us like, oh, well, here's how you make it. And we're like, yes. And this was actually a really cool moment for me, because the fact that she was so open to telling us how to make the Victoria's Secret style wings, to me, that was such a big deal, because a lot of times when I'm doing something new, I can't see myself in that position, because no one's done what I wanted to do before. No one's been in my position before as like a bigger person, or like someone that I would look up to personally. So it's really hard to be inspired by something that you don't know. And I think that's something that's so important about my job, is that I do inspire so many of you guys that I do take a lot of responsibility in making sure that if I learn how to do something, or if I'm opening myself up into a new experience like walking on the runway, I take it really seriously, because I know I'm not doing it just for myself. I know I'm doing it for so many of you guys. But I digress. Let's get back to the story. So I went to the feather place. She told us how to do it. I literally made the wings in like an hour, or maybe it was like 2 hours. Total, it was probably 2 hours, but like the initial huge chunk of time was about an hour, and then the add-ons and the additions and the perfections, that took probably about another hour total, like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes when I went to New York. That was kind of like the start of it. But I think one of the cool things about the situation was my costume wasn't originally going to have this feather train, and we were adding mesh to the swimsuit, and there was a lot of extra fabric, and it was laying out, and Charmaine and I kind of looked at each other like, this is amazing. And for me, to be really honest, I didn't really want my butt out of the swimsuit, because it was going to be out. It was going to be like a thong. Even though I do love to be out there, I don't always feel like I need to be naked or overexposed to make a statement, right? So this feather skirt kind of just worked. So we cut off the nude fabric and we replaced it with a white one and added the feathers. And I swear to you guys, it came together so beautifully. It was just a perfect representation of who I am as a person and the woman I'm becoming, and the woman I want to represent myself as. It was just so beautiful. So now we're here. Now I'm in New York. I was in New York for 30 hours. It was so quick. It all kind of started to hit me like what I was doing. I was walking in an anti-Victoria's Secret show as a plus size angel. And for me, that was like a moment of, oh my gosh. This makes me like really emotional. Okay, so I had this moment in New York where I realized like, sorry. I had this moment in New York where I realized like I'm becoming an angel. And like, I don't know how many people like have seen the Victoria's Secret show, or like people my size who've seen it and have been like, I want to do that, or judge themselves against these beautiful models like I'm not that perfect, or I'm not going to ever be able to do that, or wanting to even try the diet to get to that size. Like, you just never know what people are going through, you know, internally. These dreams that people have are not always a reality. Like 10 years ago, like if I was ever to be like, I want to be an angel, that would never be a reality because of just where we were in society, right? So like putting on my wings in my finished costume for the first time was so, it honestly meant so much to me, because I saw myself in a way that I never thought I would be able to. I saw myself as this beautiful model. I saw myself as like this representation of me. And not only was I inspired by someone to do this, but I was that person, and I knew I was going to be that person for someone else. And that was like a really big deal to me, because I didn't anticipate that. I didn't think I would be that person. I didn't know I could be my own hero. And I think that it really set in the day of my fashion show. So I'm crying because this all just happened over the weekend. It's all very recent. So it's not like this is months later. This is my life right now. This is kind of the things I'm processing this week. Sorry, the day of the show was September 15th, 2019. And I have met 2 assistants. I hired them off of Instagram. I put up an Instagram story that was like, hey, go to New York Fashion Week, I need 2 assistants. And I ended up choosing these 2 out of all the applications. So if you did submit to be my assistant, thank you, I appreciate you. And anytime I have something like this come up again, just let me know. And you know, I go through them, I read why you even want to do it. Are you excited? Like I do all that stuff. So thank you so much to Trinae and Jasmine for, you know, spending the day with me. And really just, it's really, really cool when you get to hang out with fans all day, because I'm a real person and I think I'm pretty authentic in real life as I am on like YouTube. Like when you meet me in real life, I feel like there's no difference. I feel like there's not a lot. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to ask my assistants that, but that's my perspective. I feel like I'm the same person. So it's really cool to just be a human around people that admire you, because you end up building friendships because you guys are real people. And it's cool to just see who watches you and where they come from and how they even found you and stuff like that. So it's really cool. So I had a wonderful day with them. So I arrived to the hotel to get my hair and makeup done. That's when it kind of all got real. So Dreamwalk Fashion Show just has so many people from different walks of life that are just representing their different backgrounds on a stage. It's so beautiful that Alice and Lexi have a space where people can just represent what they care about on such a public platform. My thing has always been, I feel like you can be sexy and powerful as a bigger person without being overexposing yourself or things like this. That was a journey for me, saying that to actually believing that. And this is like, this day was like the day I actually was able to step in this with full power and be like, I am what I've been trying to tell myself I am for the last 2 years. I am this confident, sexy woman without having to show too much, without having to give myself away in any way, without having to be over the top, or without having to be funny even though I'm not funny. Like, this is the first day I could be Stella Williams as myself. The sexy, like, goddess type woman I feel like I am inside. Super cool to be on the outside. I was in the last group to walk, as me as a lot of other influencers were. I think what was hitting me, like, as I was watching everyone walk, is like, this is so real. Like, this is real. Like, you are about to walk in New York Fashion Week 2019. Like, you are about to be a runway model. Like, you are here. Like, this is your real life. And I think that that's when it really started to hit me. So I stepped away from my assistants at the venue, like at the actual theater that our fashion show was held. I stepped away from them a while. I was trying not to cry. I was feeling more grateful as it was almost time for me to go on stage. So like, you know, when I don't know how you are, but when I'm really grateful, I just like want to cry. I'm a big crier. I'm just so thankful for every opportunity I have. And as I started to think about all the people that want to do this, and then that's when it really started to hit me, like, all of you guys who are gonna watch this video, or who have seen the photo and are like, I want to walk in that show. I've already have so many DMs of people like, I want to walk in the show next year, which you can, like, you can totally apply to do it. But like, what I'm saying is, I just knew, I knew my purpose. Like, everything I've done on YouTube or Instagram or anything was like leading up to this moment right now. And it took a lot of the pressure off because I already felt like ready for that, you know? I haven't so much struggled finding my voice. I've struggled finding ways to have an outlet for my voice. And these things, you can look back on videos from 2016, 2017 of me saying the same things right now, but not being so confident in them, or not knowing how to do them, or not just doing it. And I think like that's the biggest thing. If I can go back to myself 2-3 years ago and tell myself, just do it, because I was feeling these things back in 2017. I just didn't know how to express them. Everything happens for a reason, right? So everything I've gone through to lead up to me walking on that stage was all part of like grand design. And I've never felt more within my purpose than I do right now. The power I feel, obviously, like you guys know, in April I did that whole big post about like my powers unleashed. Like, that was so real to me. And this didn't seem like a surprise because it felt like it was just part of the equation that's adding up. So point being, I walked on the runway stage and like, I probably walked too fast. I felt so regal and I felt so Stella Williams that I was just out there doing it. And then it was over, and it happened that quick. And then I walked, and then I was like, wow, like I did it. And it was really cool. And I was so anxious for my pictures. My pictures took 3 days to get back, which is nothing, but I was just so excited to share this with everyone and inspire and just do the things that I love to do, because it, like I told you guys before, it's taken me so long to realize like my own power. It's taken me so long to realize my own place that I've put myself in on YouTube, and just inspiring so many of you guys to just be who you are, that like I'm just starting to get it for real like this year. And that's why I take these opportunities with so much gratitude, because I'm like, there are so many people who want to do what I do, and I can keep teaching you guys how to do what I do, but for right now, today, I am the one doing it. I take a lot of the responsibility of that on my shoulders, because it's awesome. And if I do it and it opens up doors for you to do it, then I did what I need to do. I not only served my purpose, but I also did my job, because my job is to inspire and to just be confident enough in myself so you're confident enough in you, and hopefully you take a little piece of that after you're done watching my videos. In saying this, amazing experience. Thank you again, Dreamwalk, for even having me and letting me just express myself. They loved my outfit. I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to just be me on a stage and represent my people how I want to represent my people, and hopefully inspire people who have nothing in common with me but still just need a little dose of inspiration. Where do we go from here, right? I was thinking about this before my walk and it didn't make sense. Oh, so what's gonna happen after you walk? And I had no answers. Because I didn't know what to expect. Again, I don't see anyone my size doing what I'm doing. I see no angels anywhere near my size. The Victoria's Secret fashion show was canceled this year, so I'm pretty much representing who I want to represent, because they're not doing what they did. So it's like a transition year, right? And I didn't know until it hit me. After I walked, it became so clear. I literally thought worthy of my wings. I was like, I feel worthy of my wings. I was sitting down in my hotel room after the show, and I just started writing that caption, the caption on the wings. I was just sitting there writing it on the bed, and worthy of my wings came up, and it felt so good to be like, I'm worthy of my wings. Like, I don't need to earn them. I don't need to drop weight. I don't need to do some fad diet. I don't need to be in someone's mold to be worthy of my wings. I already have my wings. So what did that build? Of course, it built a community. I just started a community called Worthy of My Wings, where our slogan is making angels out of anyone. And I feel like anyone can be an angel. And a lot of that comes from Dreamwalk, where their kind of slogan is, anyone can walk. It's a dream walk, and we're called dreamers because we aspire and are inspired, and we do inspire to just live our dreams, and our dreams were to walk, and we did. And so for Worthy of My Wings, for me, the purpose is to make an angel out of anyone, because I think it's so awesome. This is gonna sound so bad. I think it's really awesome that Victoria's Secret show was canceled this year, because it's time. Like, you can't have discrimination against so many groups and expect to like survive, especially now. And just, it's plain wrong. There's nothing, even if they weren't canceled, like the whole concept is just so outdated of fitting these molds to express beauty. And I think it's so ridiculous. So I think that everything is just lined up, and I think that it's not me, it's God. I don't know if you believe in God or not, but for me, it's God. And it's just like, my journey wouldn't have matched up the timeline of what's happening in the world, like with Victoria's Secret and everything, and Dreamwalk. It wouldn't have matched up if I wasn't aligned with my purpose. And I think that's like the bigger thing for me, is I feel this is so my purpose. Like, when I said worthy of my wings, and I meant that to myself, it just kind of felt like everything clicked in place for me. I get to now represent myself in a way I've been trying to for years, as this like graceful feminine woman, and like growing up. You guys have seen me grow up since I was like 19, 20 years old. I now get to inspire so many other people and remind them that they can be angels too. And I get to build a community of people who are understanding that they're worthy of their wings as well. It doesn't matter if like what background you're from. I just want, it doesn't matter if you're naked or fully covered. If you hashtag worthy of my wings in a completely full head to toe covered outfit but have a wing on, like you've completed the mission. You are accepted, you are welcomed. And I just really want to build this platform of people understanding that they can be angels too. Like, we don't need Victoria's Secret to be angels. And I think not only I prove that to myself, but I've now made it my mission to prove it to the world that this is just time for us. It's time for us, and it's so beautiful that we get to just like come into this place now. So in saying everything, I know that Halloween is coming up, and a lot of you are going to be angels, which I encourage. But what I want to encourage more so is sending me pictures or hashtagging worthy of my wings to join the community. I encourage you to join the community of worthy of my wings, because really, you're worthy of your wings. And my purpose now is just to like show you that you can do it too. Like, I am not special. Like, if any way I'm special is me doing it for us, then cool. But it's not just me who can do it. And I really, really encourage all of you guys to just put on your wings and fly, because life is so short and it's really our time to just love ourselves. And I pray that you come on this journey with me, and you're here at the start. So I don't know what it'll turn into. All I know is that I care about this a lot, and I care about the feeling I had that day, expressing it to so many other different people. So in saying that, I can't wait to see your guys' posts. I want to thank everyone for their support on Instagram. I'm hopefully here too. It's been crazy, and I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful. So I will see you guys next time. As always, love, Stella. Toodles.